Hey, what's up you guys? It is me, megannprosser, and I'm back at you with a Wednesday video. So today's video is going to be the pros and cons of shaving your head with trichotillomania. So I already made a pros and cons video before of shaving your head, but that was just more focused on like anybody if they shave their head, and I kind of spoke about trick but not really. This is going to be the pros and cons of shaving your head with trichotillomania. So this is going to be focused on how it helped me and my hair pulling disorder, which by the way, trichotillomania is my hair pulling disorder. I pull out my hair and I don't know why I do it. That's basically it. I pull out my hair. So the first con for me that I noticed was I started pulling my hair out in other places that I wouldn't necessarily pull a lot out when I had the hair on top of my head. So I started pulling a lot for my eyebrows, which was weird because my eyebrow pulling was never, like I would never get bald spots from pulling out my eyebrows. I started getting bald spots from pulling out my eyebrows, which was kind of upsetting. And then my eyelashes. My eyelashes have always been pretty bad, but it definitely skyrocketed once I shaved my head because those were the only two spots I could really pull after that. But that only lasted, I would say, like the first 2 months of shaving my head. I was kind of like, you know, like what the heck, and my brain I guess was going crazy and it needed to pull somewhere. But now I have it much more under control. I basically stopped pulling out my eyebrows and my eyelashes and the hair on top of my head, so it's pretty cool. You definitely can become strong enough to cut it out. Con number 2, you get more attention. So that might be a pro for some people. For me it was a con, and I think for most people with trichotillomania it's a con, because the more people see that you have a shaved head, the more people are like, why'd you do it? And you're just kind of like, in a way it could be a pro because it can help you get out there and tell people why you did it, but I kind of saw it as a con because it kind of forced me to tell people why. Or honestly, if you want, you can just tell people, oh, I wanted to try it. It was a bucket list thing. Like I wanted to just go for it. But sometimes you're like, I don't know, it's pressure in the moment and you're just kind of like, oh, I pull out my hair, and then it's kind of awkward and like you have to explain yourself more. So it's kind of a con, kind of a pro, but for me it was more of a con. I don't love attention. When I shaved my head and I was getting all this attention, all these questions, why I shaved my head, how is it, do you like it, blah blah blah, it was very like, Con number 3 is your bald spots will be super visible. I will put some photos here of what my bald spots used to look like. Thank God I was able to grow them in, so they're not as visible anymore, but your bald spots are very visible, and then you have to go through the struggle of covering them up, and it's much harder covering up your bald spots when your head is shaved over when you have hair and you can kind of place your hair, part it in a certain way to cover it up. So it's definitely much harder to cover your bald spots, and they do show a lot more. Those are definitely cons you gotta think about, is covering it up. It's more work, but if you just wear hats, headbands, you're cool. And then it takes just a few months to get it back to this. I'm really pro shave your head, so all of my cons I'm gonna try to make it like, it's fine, it's cool, no biggie. But no, the cons, they suck. It sucks for a little while, but once you get all cool and ready, I don't know why I just did that, but honestly, what am I even saying? I'm like being rude right now. If you want to go rock your bald spots, go rock your freaking bald spots. Like honestly, like go you. That would be so freaking cool. You would make such a statement. Like you'd be a trichotillomania icon. But yes, that's it for the cons. We're gonna move on to the pros. The biggest pro of them all is I stopped pulling out the hair on top of my head. This only works for some people. I know some people when they shave their head, they just get tweezers and they just go right back at it. I personally stopped using tweezers to pull out any part of hair on my body a long time ago. When I was probably like in middle school, I became very aware that tweezers were bad. Tweezers were the enemy. So for literally a good like 5 years, I completely cut tweezers out of my life. My poor parents, my mom would use tweezers to like tweeze your eyebrows or put on eyelashes or something, and every single time I saw a tweezer in the house, I would go outside and bury it in the backyard. I'm not even kidding you. So if you're a tweezer puller, don't have tweezers in the house, and eventually you just won't even need to use them anymore. You'll forget about it. But besides that, I completely stopped pulling out the hair on top of my head. I was able to regrow this bald spot. There's still a little bit of a line, but that'll go away with time. So that was definitely number one, is that I stopped pulling out the hair on my head. That was huge for me, but you do have to shave it like every 2 to 3 weeks to keep it at a length where you can't pull it. So pro number 2 is you feel more badass and more confident. I hid behind my hair for so many years, especially having trichotillomania. It's so easy to hide behind your hair and all your bald spots. So once I shaved my head and I was more out there, I was just so much more confident. I don't know, honestly, I felt more beautiful in my own skin, and I finally felt like I found something that worked for me, and it was just such a relief. Like, even, I always say this to whoever, like my family or friends, if you go back and look at my old videos when I had hair, I spoke so much more like mellow and like down. It was just kind of like, you guys can do this, you can get through it, like I'm here for you. And now I'm just like, hey girl, what's up, you got this, bitch. You know, like I'm so much more like outgoing. I feel like my hair was really holding me back, so I'm definitely more confident. I'm happier with my short hairs. And the third and final pro is, I kind of touched on this a little bit, but being able to grow back bald spots. That was a huge thing for me. I hated when I had hair, having long hair, then short hair, then like super short hair, and like random spots. Everything was just uneven and I hated it. So now having like even hair length all around my head, I don't know if that sentence was even English, but you know what I mean. It's so nice. Like, and following the progress of like watching my bald spot grow in, which by the way, if you go to my Instagram, Megan with 2 N's, Prosser at Instagram. If you go there, I have a whole highlight section where you can follow my hair growth with me. So it was really cool though, following the hair growth and seeing that like I could accomplish this and let my hair grow in. So it was super awesome. So that's my third pro. And with that being my third pro, that's the end of this video. I hope this video helped you guys out in some way, shape, or form. And I hope you guys stick around, subscribe, like, and comment, and see me for the next video. Have a great day. Bye.